Today I just wanted to have a heart-to-heart conversation with some of those viewers who might have cerebral palsy or a mobility disability, because there's some similar, muscular dystrophy can be similar when you're younger to CP, uh, multiple sclerosis. As you get older, generally people aren't born with that or don't develop that as younger in age. But fortunately for me, and the majority of people with cerebral palsy, I've dealt with mobility for my entire life. Suppose when I was really young, I didn't have it as severe as I do now. I always had trouble skipping and keeping up with people on the basketball court, but basically in my entire life I've had a mobility disability, at some point. And it's really not going to get much worse, so I suppose I can be grateful for that because, I don't really have anything to compare it to as far as my own life. It's easy to compare yourself to others, but I don't think it's a good thing to do that, particularly when you have cerebral palsy. It's always good to be competitive, but when you have cerebral palsy, it's easy to get down, considering that probably 95% of the people in the United States don't have any sort of mobility disability. And for me, cerebral palsy affects my legs, and that's, big part of life is walking. But obviously I found other things that I enjoy doing, and they don't really involve physical activity. So what I think is it's just important to get to know people's character, because there's a lot of great people with tremendous character. I believe that cerebral palsy over time builds your character as a person, and I know for me it has. And I look at some of the people with cerebral palsy or mobility disabilities as being some of the strongest people in the world. I know it's easy for others to view them like they're weak because they might not be able to, lift the same things that others do, or be as physically fast as people are. But internally, generally, they're really strong people. And sometimes people also, when you have physical disabilities, no cognitive disability, people can not treat you the best, particularly when you're younger. But I've noticed as I've gotten older, it's kind of, people treat you pretty good actually, particularly when you get to know them. So it's not always bad if you're younger and going through a challenging time. We've all, with cerebral palsy, we've all been bullied, and like I said, sometimes people just don't really mean to say anything nasty, but it might come across this way because, after all, this is the way God made me. And I feel like people shouldn't really ask what's the matter with you, because it's the way God made me. There's nothing wrong with me. I've got cerebral palsy, but it's just the way I was created. So I just really don't. I don't really look at it like a disability. I don't compare myself to others. It's hard to do, particularly when you're younger. But as you get older, you just kind of become satisfied with who you've become. Obviously you always do everything to the best of your ability. But at this point, there's no known cure for cerebral palsy. Which, if there was a cure, I would absolutely take the cure. But since there is no cure, I'm just going to do the best with what I have and what God created me to do. And obviously it's not anything physically remarkable. I sit in a desk all day, but I try to develop a good relationship with family, friends, and everyone I'm around, and be a kind, loving person. I think that's all you can do in life. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that you don't look at yourself like you're inferior to others just because you have some sort of mobility disability. Thanks for watching.